Welcome back to an episode of we are gonna do some quests in Fallen's Hope. Let's just check this out.
That way?
Ooh, interesting. So every time you... Whoa, the whole thing is Fallen's Hope. Wow. And it's green too, so maybe you can take control over these recruits here as well. It's an orcish barricade. That's weird. So they kind of took over orcish buildings, it feels like. What do we got? Find the contact in Fallen's Hope, town center. Yeah. We actually have to take over control of Fallen's Hope and continue with some strategy in here. Only thing we need to do is like continue the story a little bit. Oh, look at this mill dude. He's just waiting. That's sweet. All those NPCs just going about their business is actually kind of nice to look at. So we have in here an ice potion. Nice to have, nice to have, nice to have. I want to stock up a little bit more on health potions too. As long as I don't have a dedicated healer and just some damaging units most of the time. I need every healing potion I can get. I don't want to spend too much money as well. Because in the end it just means that I'm going to throw money at the problem and hope that it kind of fixes itself. And that's not always a good solution. What about this one?
Yes, dear. You look lost. Talk to Clara if you need anything. She's our mayor. You'll find her up on that mountain. At her inn.
Good, good, good,
Let's see. Yes? Need something?
Alright, alright, alright. Anything else in here? Any, like, chests to open also? Nah. Nothing. We only got one item. No, there's another one over here. And a trader over there. That must be Clara then. Just sweeping everything. What else we got? That was another item over there. Nice farm. I have to check out everything. And there we get a... What is this? Fish? Leather? Don't know what it is. So... Let's see. Let's get around here. Talk to the trader first. Trader Joe.
The best wares from Kalea to Northander.
Yeah. Don't over-exaggerate it. I mean, they are nice wares, yes. The best wares, maybe. And yeah, only 4,000 gold. I don't know what to do with all my items. Like, I just keep them and sell them if necessary in order to get additional nice items. Potion of Relief applies regeneration. 60 for one health potion. What if I sell one? What's the difference in... Okay, 18 and... Let's see. Maybe there is a... Eyes protection. What about this one? Focus point regeneration. Nope. Relief? Black potion magic resistance? Yes. So it's roughly 3 times as much, isn't it? This is... If this would sell for 20... Then we would get 3 times as much, which is 60. And if this would sell for 33, then we will get roughly 3 times as much here. So that's that. Do we have any special items in here? No, there are some potions, some nice weapons, and some other stuff. I have to switch to another character here just to check if there are... Nah. I can't even buy better equipment here. Most of it we don't need. Like, it seems as if this is only a good source for maybe sometimes a special item like this one here. But most of the time it's just a good source of money. That's it.
Farewell. That way?
But yeah, selling items is only good if you have a way of getting those items back or farming those items. So you always have an overabundance of potions. The story of Vrok and Primora. How does that one work? Story of... There we go. The story of Vrok and Primora. There was once a shepherd's daughter named Primora who lived on a small farm. While tending to the flock, she would often sit by the river and sing. One day, an orc named Vrok was scouting the nearby lands as a potential raid for his clan. When he heard Primora singing, he was struck by the beauty of her voice, and throughout he approached Primora, but she fled at the sight of him. Vrok returned to his cowl, devastated. He begged Sarak to turn him into a human. To his surprise, Sarak answered his prayers. He was granted a transformation for a fortnight, but if she could not learn to love his true self, disaster would befall her. The next day, Vrok returned to the river. He emerged from the bushes as a tall, handsome human. From that moment, the two spent every day together. Vrok's love for Primora grew until he knew she would love him, no matter what form he was in. Well, when the fortnight was over, Vrok decided to reveal his true self to her. He went to the river at their usual time, but approached in his orc form. Primora was horrified and cursed his name. As he pleaded with her to love him, she pushed him into the river and fled. Vrok ran to her home, hoping to intercept her. Instead, he found his clan at the farmhouse burned to the ground. They had learned of his disguise and followed him. Primora was nowhere to be found, and his clan exiled him for his disloyalty. As he wandered the wilderness alone, Primora came to him. He was overjoyed, but as he opened his arms to her, she plunged a dagger in his heart. In his last breath, she cursed him for destroying her life. The end. Oh. Jesus Christ. Okay, in this case, there are actually two, well, kind of three parties that are at fault. One, like the obvious ones are the orcs that are just wreaking havoc because of his disloyalty, right? Number one. Number two is Primora, because she, well, come on. Just because a dude looks like an orc doesn't mean you have to shove a dagger into the guy. But yeah. Then, of course, the orc, who kind of was disloyal to his peers and also used a disguise to kind of, well, yeah, get close to a human. Kind of like cheat a little bit. That's the thing. But in the end, it's just a really sad story, though.
Interesting.
Haven't I seen you before? No? Ah, well, I thought you looked familiar.
That's interesting. Maybe the old Tahar was here before, or there's some kind of, well, time thingy happening here. Time travel thingy. Would be interesting.
Now would you look at that?
You are met with a hideous stench as you peer over the barrel's rim. Whoever caught these fish must have forgotten about them or is long dead. And no one else notices the stench in this little barrel. Wait a minute. Is there... No. The Cabin in the Woods. Also a really nice movie. Zoom. Godstone triggered. What else we got? There's nothing there. There could be something here. Maybe you can build in a building up here as well. This dude...
Yes.
Commander Mart. Okay, we cannot talk to Commander Mart. Is he smart?
Got it.
Maybe you have to talk to him at a later point. So, find the contact in Fallen's Hope. Well, yeah. Could be anyone again. Yeah, a barricade made from brittle wood, hastily put together. You're not sure this could keep out a goblin if you tried hard enough.
So,
Like
what's the plan?
You can kind of right-click on it as if you can interact with it, but at the same time, no interaction happens whatsoever. So that's weird. But at least there's a nice way of going around. As long as you see the trader, you see the icon, but as soon as the fog of war kind of takes over, then the icon disappears and you also don't know that there's a trader anymore. That's a bit sad. it also gets really difficult to see the traders. Like, you only see it because it's glowing really goldy. It's not as if there's a 2D UI element like this one here. Like, there are different elements. Like, this is a 3D UI element, and this is a, or icon, whatever, pointer, and this is a 2D pointer. They kind of, and then you also have the speech bubble sometimes, which is also 3-dimensional.
Interesting.
What do we have here? Dwarven traditions. The dwarves of Windwall are an enigmatic people. They are not by nature overly secretive, but their distrust and exclusion of outsiders from their empire leaves much shrouded in mystery. What is known about them comes from a few accounts from traders and travelers permitted beyond their borders. Perhaps the most well-known aspect of dwarven culture is their skill at the forge. Dwarves are the finest smiths in all of Io. The ore from their mines is used in the production of moonsilver steel, the sharpest and most durable steel of the known world. Due to their monopoly of moonsilver steel, production and trade, it is likely that the Windwall Empire has more riches than all the other kingdoms of Io combined. Dwarves value tradition and family above all else. A young dwarf is expected to bring honor to their family, whether at the forge or on the battlefield. A dwarf is also expected to produce heirs to continue the family lineage. Failure to do either of these brings shame upon the individual and the household. It is not a surprise, then, that strength is highly valued in dwarven society. Physical prowess, often demonstrated in brawls after a night of drinking, is one of the greatest measure of what makes a righteous dwarf. Wit is also appreciated as a strength of the mind, but it alone is not enough to win admiration. A dwarf must prove themselves to be physically strong to be worthy of praise. Even less is known about dwarven women, as all dealings with outsiders are done by the dwarven men. Few, if any, women have ever been seen. However, the rumor that dwarven women are held as slaves for domestic duties and sexual pleasure by dwarven men is nonsense. Tales of women kept in chains is hearsay, likely started by jaded traders to capture the imagination of common folk. It is far more likely that dwarven culture is patriarchal and women are suppressed from taking active roles in society. However, their society is structured in terms of gender and class is yet a mystery. It is also very possible that women are simply kept out of view of outsiders, given dwarven general distrust of outsiders and their intentions. Meaning that as long as there's an outsider in town, every woman is gone. But it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of Middle Eastern way they behave. Like, the men are doing all the business outside of the household, and the women are usually inside the household, managing everything else. It's not that they are kept as slaves, it's just that they do a different task altogether. Their focus is somewhere completely different. Something similar also took place in the West before the Industrial Revolution and everything like that.
Will do.
Actually, kind of interesting. Because, men were kind of like supposed to do everything outside the household, and women are supposed to take care of the household and everything in it. So the focus was completely different. And nowadays it's all about everyone has to do everything. And it's a very individualized society. So anyway, let's talk to, I forgot her name, Clara, maybe, whatever.
Now that's a face I haven't seen before. Where are you from?
Clara.
You don't look like Iskander folks to me.
She was Clara, not Cala.
We're not. Actually, we are sent by the light and are looking to meet a contact here.
So you're the ones Lacane was talking about. Huh. Had something different in mind, to be honest. But anyway, I'm Clara Farlorn, mayor of this beautiful place. I suppose you figured as much already. Judging by that look in your eyes, you probably want to get straight to the point. You're here for the dwarf, aren't you? Iskrim.
Yes. Is he in the village?
No, he's not. But I can tell you where he is, under one condition.
There was no talk of conditions, but okay, fine. What do you need?
All right, what do you want?
What? No bickering? That's a pleasant surprise.
Well, we could just get it over with.
To be brief, about 2 months ago, orcs invaded Iskander. And it seems they are set on destroying our village. Our militia is doing its best to keep them at bay, but the situation's getting more dire by the minute. Since you two look as though you can fight, I was wondering...
Interesting. The outline is not around the whole character, it's just about around the part that is hidden behind an object. But it's... I mean, it's kind of nice so you know where everybody is, but it's kind of annoying if you have this kind of conversation happening and there are ghosts kind of all over the place.
If we can join your militia.
Pretty much, yes. If we don't get rid of the orcs soon, Farland's hope will be history. And also, they've got your dwarf.
Obviously. Why would the orcs attack you anyway?
Why would the orcs attack you? It's been decades since they last invaded human territory.
Dear, I don't know. If I did, I would have tried to reason with them. But they seem to be from a particularly savage tribe, so maybe they just realized that with House Iskander gone, this land has practically become lawless.
Alright, and the orcs took Iskrim, but why?
The orcs took Isgrim? Why?
It's kind of interesting. Why do they go after a dwarf, which in this case is a very special person? So maybe they are controlled by someone, and this someone is also the reason why the orcs are attacking human territory.
They haven't told me their motivation, so I don't know. But I'm guessing they just came across him when he was out in the wilds doing whatever Lacane pays him to do. I only know this because one of our scouts told me the orcs were keeping someone captive in their camp.
So he's alive, but in the hands of the orcs. That's both good and bad news.
That's also one reason. Why don't they just kill him? Seems that we have no choice then.
Seems that we have no choice then. We'll...
Wait a second. Weren't you a corporal in the Royal Army before all this?
Indeed.
I was. Until they try to execute me, remember?
Yes, but that doesn't change anything about your experience, does it? I think we should talk to the local commander and see if you can, well, help him out.
Yeah.
As a leader.
RPG element. Strategy element incoming.
Hold on a second, darling. Are you suggesting we let a stranger take over our militia?
Indeed. If a stranger's supposed to, well, fight the orcs, then why not?
Temporarily, yes. Look, Madame Farlorn, I know how this sounds, but this is a seasoned commander you're talking to.
Seasoned?
But... fair enough. Maybe this is worth a try. Truth be told, Commander Mart hasn't done much but yell at people anyway. Go and tell him I sent you. Then help him prepare an attack on the orc camps. Mart keeps on saying it is too risky, but I don't see any other options at this point. He's eastwards, at the foot of this mountain. And one more thing. Try to be sensible, will you? Just tell him who you are and how you can help. He's, well, quite the character.
Indeed. So,
Yes, dear? Need something else?
Okay, so let's see what else she has to say. Are you a servant of the light?
So, since you work with the Harbinger, are you part of the Purity? Do you believe in the return of Aeonir?
Do you?
I don't care much for religion. I don't know, really.
I don't know.
Well, neither do I. To be honest, with a village of war-shaken farmers to take care of and raping bandits and orcs to defend ourselves against, the return of Aeonir isn't my most pressing matter to attend to. I think you understand.
How do you feel about mages?
And how do you feel about the Purity's take on mages?
Oh, it's not about how she feels about mages, it's how she feels about the Purity's take on mages, which is completely different.
The executions, you mean? I don't know. I try to stay out of things like that as much as I can.
Most people do. And that's why these kind of things happen.
True, dear, it is. But what would you have me do? Send my glorious army of farm boys and widowers against Greykeep to rescue the mages from the pikes? Wonderful idea.
Yeah, sure.
So you're allies by necessity.
I suppose you could say that, yes. I help the Harbinger, he keeps his people off our backs. Everybody wins.
And how did you become a mayor?
This inn is yours, isn't it? How did you become the mayor?
Because the inn is very, very well kept.
Honest answer? I don't know. I guess I just wound up here. You know, all these useless wars. What some people tend to forget is that it's the farmers and villagers who suffer the most from them. When I came here, this place was a ruin. Yet, for some reason, many refugees from the war had come here, as if it was some kind of safe haven. So I made sure that it became one.
And you're a farmer yourself?
Well, not quite, but let's not go there.
Tell me about the area.
Can you tell me anything about the area?
Like what? Don't wake the sleeping trolls? Make sure your blades are sharp when you head into orc territory? Yes, I can tell you that. But I doubt you didn't know already.
Well, I took care of the trolls, so... Why aren't you in Everlight yet?
Why make a stand here? Wouldn't Everlight be a much safer place to be?
Castle and stuff.
Of course it would. But what makes you think we could make the journey? This militia of ours. Yes, we might fend off some bandits, but what if we run into a group of orcs, highwaymen, deserters?
An arrow to the face is an arrow to the face.
Bottom line, it's too dangerous. Especially now with the orcs at our doorstep.
Makes sense, I guess.
Interesting. Well, I'll be
I'll be
off then.
off. Thanks for your time.
Sure.
It's also very interesting. Like, if you just think about it in terms of usability, right? You don't necessarily need a sword in order to fight. The only thing you need is something that is capable of inflicting damage to someone's health. And in this case, it could be a... Well, it could be a sword. It could be an arrow. It could also be an axe. Or it could be a spade or a spear or something like that. And if you think about it, what kind of tool would be really useful, not just in combat situations, but also in day-to-day business? And in most cases, I would say an axe would be good in order to chop wood. And in some cases, you can also use it to split someone's head open. In other cases, a spear is good for fishing. And it can also be used to fend off some riders. Then what else can be useful? An arrow is good for hunting. Well, arrow, bow and arrow in this case, are good for hunting. And in order to snipe some enemy foe. That's also pretty good. What else do we have? Everything except the sword. A sword has a very, very primary use. Which is weird. You don't use a sword for any day-to-day business. A hammer, even. You can use... Well, okay. You can use a hammer in order to... hammer in, like, some pieces of wood in order to make a fence of some sort, right? Like this one here. You have to use a hammer in order to hammer this into the ground. And the hammer has to be sufficiently heavy, so it can also be used as some kind of war hammer, right? Also, maybe in order to get some basic stability for the buildings here. Like this one has to be hammered in, other stuff here. So you do... Not a smith hammer though, because a smith hammer has to be used permanently in one hand. And it might not necessarily be heavy enough. But yeah, you can use most of it. In this case, farmers are actually the most well-armed people ever. Also, why would you need swords? I mean, why would you need swords then? They're just useless. On day-to-day, they're just useful if you want to go in there, you want to like swing them around, like make people bleed, cut the head opens and stuff. But for the most part, once the fighting is done, they're useless. They are thrown away in exchange with other stuff. Maybe this is the reason why the Vikings were so... Yeah, were so special. Because they used, well, farming equipment. Even a hoe can be used, right? Or what else we got? Yeah, I think this is a hoe. The thing to cut down the weed and everything. Farming equipment, absolutely great. Except for swords. Why would you ever need swords? Kind of makes no sense. But it is pointy like a spear, and it kind of combines. Yeah, it combines the pointiness of the spear and the cutting edge of an axe. But other than that, that's it. It also is fairly heavy, so you have to be strong enough in order to wield it. And then you also need a shield, and a shield is like also special equipment. Why would you need a shield in... Oh, you can use maybe a wheel on a cart as some kind of makeshift wheel. Makeshift shield. Like this thingy here. Just put some straps on it and put it in your hand, and that's it. In this case, the wheels of a cart are kind of limited by the strength of your arm, really. And they can't be too great. Or maybe some barrels. The top of a barrel can be used as a shield. Yeah, in this case, you can only make weapons out of the things that surround you on a day-to-day business, on a daily life. But other than that, that's it. Why would you ever want a special force? Makes no sense. You have to train them, you have to arm them, and in the end you need special equipment that is useless if not used. Alright, so...
Orcs coming from the east!
No, not yet.
Fend them off! Don't let them through!
Not now. I want to claim my reward here. What do we have? Reviving liquid. Refill one of your revive charges and a fresh start. Let's go for this one.
Alright, here goes nothing.
So that one goes over here. That one is there for a heal. Come on, do the heal, and the only ones that get healed are the ones in my squad and the ones I have control over, but no random neutral
for
NPCs.
Fuck's sake! Are you sodding idiots drunk or just stupid? I told you to keep your formation. Clean this mess up, somebody.
This dude might be slightly aggravated.
That way?
Very interesting. Oh,
You got
yeah. If they really want to break through it, they can. And they did. So, what do we have on the other end? Oh no.
Sounds like a plan.
There's a dude with an awful lot of... No.
Understood.
Awful lot of shielding. Jesus Christ.
Get ready.
Shoo.
Here we go.
Nice. Yeah, we got it. Now let's take this dude down. What about this guy? Gralzul. No.
Yes.
This is not the guy we got from before. What's this? Cannot be sight, of course. Pew 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 pew.
Yes?
Another one. Oh, this will be fun.
Well, just kill one of these thingies and maybe a chain reaction takes place. Or you just wait long enough and then goes boom anyway.
Zarek, here I come.
So, what do we have here? An orc shaman stuff. Does the same damage as the one I have now. Only problem is it doesn't scale with anything. It's kind of mean. Like, every weapon scales with certain stats except for mage weapons.
Will do.
Mages are supposed to use spells. Come on. Isn't it already difficult enough? Stoneworks, alright?
You got it.
You got it.
That way?
Let's see. Can we finally destroy this thing? I have no idea. Whatever. Before we explore the eastern part of it. We are gonna end this little episode, and maybe we talk to Maud in the next episode as well, just to keep things stable. Yeah, good old thing, good old thing. Until then, like and subscribe, of course. Ta-ta!